His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you have failed us. If there is no Nigerian to tell you, I will take the responsibility of telling you, and I will take the responsibility of the consequences, because the life and properties of Nigerians is above all. Let me tell you, Mr. President, under your watch, bandits are taxing Nigerians. Is that the provision of the Constitution of Nigeria? Under the provision of Constitution of Nigeria, no one has the right to tax any Nigerian, except being authorized by the federal government or any other constituted authority. I'm not a learned person, but I'm not a layman. I'm telling you, Mr. President, you are to take responsibility. Because we have it in the Quran, we have it in Ahadith. Man wajada khayran falyahamidillah, wa man wajada ghayra dhalika fala yalumanna illa nafsa. Who do you want us to give responsibility? Do you want us to give the President of America, the President of Ghana, the President of the Chad? No. We have the right, constitutional right to ask you, Mr. President.
He used a religion to railroad us into supporting him. He said Muslim ticket.
There's this perception the North is always saying me, crying foul, or being the victim in the conversation, because the issues that the North is complaining about, whether it's insecurity or underdevelopment, these are national issues. The South also has issues around underdevelopment. The South also has challenges with unemployment, has challenges with insecurity. So why is the North trying to make it look like this is the only region that actually matters?
No, I think it's because, let's be realistic. In practical terms, North is about the poorest part of the country. This is no brainer. You understand? I give you an example. During Buhari's region, for example, for every 1,000 naira you had, you spent only 107 naira or 200 naira to buy a liter of petrol, which means that you had 800 naira to maybe buy a measure of beans or rice to cook for your children. Now for every 1,000 naira you have, you spend 800 naira on a liter of petrol, and you are left with only 200 naira.
Yeah, but you have to talk about the trade-offs. The trade-offs back then was that we're indebting ourselves.
We are still indebting ourselves
to keep an unsustainable subsidy.
No, this is what is unsustainable. In fact, we have just come to the unsustainability. I don't know how and where you are going to repay $21 billion debt at once, or 15 billion yen, which you said you are going to use in agriculture. As the Japanese coming here to plant our rice, or the agbado that President Tinubu said he will provide, how do you just collect 15 billion yen from Japan and say you are going to invest in agriculture? What sort of agriculture?
Does the North need to learn to be patient, just like the rest of the country?
The North needs to be patient, but the trouble is that President Bola Ige has decidedly picked the North as his opposition. He has turned the North into the opposition. So he's not giving us our dues.
Okay.
So that's why we're already impatient with him. And let me remind you, he used a religion to railroad us into supporting him. He said Muslim ticket. But it's Muslims who are catching hell under his administration.
He used it.
Of course he used it.
I'm sure it's a lot more.
No, that's what he used. He used it as a sentiment. He knew that our people would fall for it. Look, on the eve of his departure to Vatican, they announced shamelessly that 62% of his appointments were Christians. You don't say this. He's dividing the country.
Okay.
You don't announce it. You announce it gleefully, triumphantly. Who do you want to impress? Vatican?
Right.
Does Vatican vote for you?
People like Governor Obasani believes that the North is, playing the victim role in a very dishonest way. He believes
Obasani himself is dishonest.
He believes that
Obasani himself is dishonest.
There needs to be an introspective look where Northern leaders need to be held accountable for their mismanagement of the region. Don't you think that there is a valid point there?
It's a valid point, but what has he done to change the narrative? We also need to ask, what has Obasani himself delivered in 2 years? Obasani himself has not used the advice that he has given to others. What can he boast of? What can he come out and say, I have changed the narrative in the health sector or in the education sector of Kaduna State? This was a person who had background in human rights activism. But now he has totally abandoned it because he has become a politician.
Let me tell you, you see, the concept, the issue about the northern region has been overblown. You see, because the governors that every day come out to speak well of the president are from the north. The meeting of yesterday, 2 days ago, was in the north.
The governors and the ordinary people on the street, they are two different things. So those who determine who governs them are the ones who are complaining.
Now, if I ask you, and very bluntly, to tell me a singular ordinary citizen in the north or group of citizens in the north who say there is a growing agitation against President Bola Tinubu, you will not find one, even if you start from here to Antarctica.
So every 200 million Nigerians are okay with whatever.
No, we'll come to 200 million. No, we'll come to 200 million. Let's start from the north. So what you are hearing are a set of people in the north who believe it is their birthright to be in government. Some of them were in the past government for 8 years. After a new government has come, they want to be in the center of attention in the next government. And this government believes in equal distribution of opportunities to those who have not had the privilege. They are angry and they form a group. They say they want to remove him. They are now scattered like sheep without shepherd in the wilderness. If I one of them who say, I made the president, I'll remove him. Yesterday also, he was suspended for 40 years. He will resume politics when he's getting to 90-something years. They are confused. Completely confused.
You have forgotten, Sheung, that the insecurity in the country did not start with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Recall that even under President Musa Yar'Adua, that insecurity reared its ugly head. Coming up to President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, up to President Muhammad Buhari, insecurity was very here in the country. And what has happened? Check the constitution of the current security architecture in the country. We talked of inclusiveness, where a situation that for the first time in this country, I can tell you, I come from the southeastern part of the country, and I can tell you that this is for the last 10 years, we are having one of the service chiefs come from Southeast, the chief of naval staff. That has given sense of belonging to the people of Southeast. The wisdom, well appreciated. So this thing that has cumulatively been here over time is being addressed. But I don't see the reason for this hurry. The anxiety of making sure as if it is going to be a magic that the ills of 20 years must be solved in 7 months, to say the least, is unreasonable.
Those who are in pains and who are in abject poverty may not agree with you. When you're asking them that they should be patient and they keep suffering, they keep feeling the hardship, it might be unfair to them, don't you think?
Poverty of how many years?
Nigeria's problem is like a pregnant woman. You don't know what she's going to deliver. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. Every day, every now and then, there are always problems arising. If not the north today, it will be the south. The insecurity challenges in Nigeria is at an alarming rate. The killings of the innocent civilians in Borno State, in Plateau State, in Kebbi, in Anambra, in Imo, and Enugu, Evara, is seriously calling for concerns. The Nigeria state must rise up to its responsibility, because it's soon President Ahmed Bola Tinubu took an oath of office to protect the lives and properties of every Nigerian. If you are an inhabitant of Nigeria today, by that extension, you are protected. Your rights to live shouldn't be subjected to negotiation by anybody. I repeat, by anybody. Your right to live is a divine right that is not negotiable by any authority whatsoever in Nigeria. So, seeing people dying every day, it is an aberration which should not have happened. The Nigerian state should rise up to their responsibility and secure lives and properties. With all due respect to the army personnel and every other paramilitaries, they are failing gradually. People are dying at their watch. And the politics that have entered the military as it is now is telling on us that they are no longer able and capable of securing lives or even securing borders. The least of it. It is alarming how the armies have been used to terrorize Nigerians. How the armies are now terrorizing the police, not to carry out a lawful arrest of the Fulani herdsmen. This is on every gazetteer that you can see, and it is clear that there are cabals responsible for all of these atrocities put together. If Nigeria fails today, who will you secure? If we look at our neighboring state in the Sub-Sahara or in the Middle East, where you have war and social unrest, if it happens in Africa, how are we going to contain these excesses? Nigeria is actually be plunged into a state of no return. Nothing is working. Now, the senior military officers are actually swimming big in our resources, using the innocent lives of fellow Nigerians as a trade by barter, a return of the rich resources. It is a pity that the country you soon to protect with all your life is now in the hands of bandits. It's now in the hands of Fulani herdsmen. It's now in the hands of local militias, of fragmentations in Nigeria states. This does not really tell of a failed state, but it is also a signal to us all that if we do not rise up, if we, I repeat, do not rise up to speak truth to leadership, to tell our leaders that they are on the wrong track, to pull out whichever security apparatus that is responsible for this, to pull them out and replace them with a new one, will not move forward. Because they are bent on depleting the populace of Nigeria. We are not in war, but it's as if we are in war. Internal crisis is ravaging Nigeria, and this is a carcaworm that must be dealt with. Nigeria must rise up.
In my own way of judging the regime,
metaphorically and empirically should be looked at from the point of the Lagos-Calabar Highway that was promised to be 700 kilometers and will be done in whatever number of years it should have been done. And in 2 years, only had 30 kilometers completed to be commissioned. And if you look at the percentage of that, you can use that to judge every other thing that has been done in the country. And I want to address very quickly the issue of naming places after the president. I think that in itself is a sign of insecurity, that the people handling the regime or the regime itself is so unsure of itself, it had to be naming monuments after itself when there is nothing happening in the country. There is no reason why anybody who has done well for the country wouldn't wait for monuments to be named after them after they have left. But you know, you and I know this, and you mentioned it, that there's a level of imbecility involved. That's true. And what that means is that even other monuments that have been named after people in this country speaks to the fact that monuments are named after people who have contributed the least amount of progress to the country. And it's just done in a way that have no respect for the dignity of the people, respect for history, and respect for our existence. But, you know, when you look at it now, even Nigeria itself was a monument named after falsehood, Niger area, by a person without integrity, Flora Shaw. So monument naming is not anything that anybody should worry about. But you made a fundamental statement about how these naming ceremonies come about. They come from a place of shallowness, and I dare say and repeat, imbecility.
Okay, so if they name Aso Rock after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu tomorrow, you are going to say it's imbecility?
Anybody can name anything they want after anybody. I've stated before, and I'll say it here today for Nigeria, if to become the president of this country, most of the places named after these former Nigerian leaders will be named after trees and probably rivers in Nigeria. We have plenty of them. Because those ones deserve those places to be named after them. At least they are consistent and they contribute to our ecological balance than people who contribute nothing. Sometimes I get depressed when I'm driving on roads in Abuja and I see Buhari Road, Babangida Road, or Abacha Barrack. I just like wondering what is wrong with us. But here you have it. That's the map of imbecility.
Okay, Shura, you've been in journalism for years, even as a student.
I've been everything.
But I know many of you must have watched and listened to what everyone has to say concerning the insecurity and the problem we are facing in this country. Though it is belong that all these northern people normally comes out to criticize Tinubu's government, though even when their own person was in power, then none of them, we have not seen them out. We have not even seen the bricklayers. But now they have noticed that it's another person's from another side that is there. All of them now are now coming out to make sure they pull him down. If you carefully understand what the other man who spoke here said, the second man, if you carefully listen to what he says, you will have to know that this country is in a big mess, because what they thought before they voted for him was a different thing. According to the man, he says that it's because of the religion and Muslim ticket of the thing they voted, not knowing that he's gonna change. But now that he has changed, that he has not giving them the opportunity they wanted, many of them now are now ganging up that they must take him out. Although this taking him out of a thing that we've been hearing, I am not sure it's gonna work. Because even though it will work, It will only work when they bring a person who is from this side there. If not, I don't think it will work, because all this while that they have the rule, I have not seen any guillotine that they have done or created in this country. And why be say every time they normally comes out to like make sure they drop one criticization of a team before they sleep every day. It doesn't make sense. Though you that is hearing us now, we know you have something to say concerning this. If you have anything to say on this, drop your own thoughts in the comment section. And also, today's your first time, kindly like, share, subscribe. Thank you.